Okay, this is me gonna be dancing. Me dancing. So let me close this. So basically, go here, github.com. Audacity is not recording this. I don't need to record it though. I'll be dancing. Let me start a new one. So this is me dancing. Yeah. So this is me dancing. It's like dancing. This is me dancing. So one second, let me find the repository. So I'll show you my face to the camera. So github.com, Fruit Ninja. So you can get Fruit Ninja. And I just need these three files here. Index Green Boots. You guys can't hear the microphone audio is here. Let me try and play it so you can hear me. Yeah, so you can't hear it. That's good. So you're gonna download this to the repository. Wait. Today's date is the 28th of April, 2026. You're gonna go to github.com forward slash mmuko. Oh, that's no fruit ninja. And this is the three files I need. So go here, go to fruit ninja. You go to www. Go to in here. This is the first file. This is really yourself. This is the file I really need to do it and get to my frequencies. I prefer this one. Or you can go to my code pen. Whose does what? And yeah, go to this here. Application begins to system number not start with this. Place your hand over the palm. So it's not starting up. So this is the full application. Yeah. Just using my camera. It's not. So I'll see my camera. Move my camera. Yeah. 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 So this is it. Oh, it's not even doing it. I want to grab this. It's not grabbing it. So it's meant to grab it. I'm pretty sure what. Or do I need cross originality? So this is a autoplay. Uh, 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 reset memory. Place other. Oh, I don't know. This is not working. But let me see the one that's working. So the one that's working is on GitHub, and I'll just show you the links you go to. GitHub.com, Food Ninja, Blob, the index of the HTML. So this is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I got it now. I can't put it back, unfortunately. But this is my hand. So let me just see. So let me please some get started dancing. Let's start dancing. Yep. Let's see. I'm just dancing. Cybernetics. Uh, uh, see, huh? This is so sick, guys. I'm wicked. See, this is a break dance. I don't know what I'm saying. I just played some song. I don't even hear it. See, uh, don't know someone would have say this fucking song. It's that song. Whoa! Yeah, fucking fire. Thank you, thank you. Ah, sorry about Netic interface. So that was the cybernetic interface, and it's working in tandem. This was not working here. What is the file here? So it works here. Huh. Thank you. This would be hard. You should do some hard. Just to get it better. But it does work. Okay. Thank you for watching this video. Let me end it now. Uh, oh, I missed the whole dance. Oh God, I missed the whole dance. Basically, while you're watching me here, I missed the whole dance, so I have to do it again. Anyway, let's get on with it. Can you see me now? Can you see the screen now? Yeah. Okay. So this is service interface, and it wasn't working before, so now it should be working. Ready, guys? Let's get onto it. Let's do it again. I'm tired now, but can you see the screen? Can you see the screen? You can see the screen, yeah. So let me do it again. Let me dance again. Is it watching me this time? Okay, let's go. This is Oh, it's going too far. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What's it on down? No. Give me this. Uh, uh, agama, this was say the fall in love with you, Namdi. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So that's what I'm saying. So the dance is not complete. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you, thank you. So this is a file done. Download it. You have to go to here, through Ninja, W blob, this link here. Here, go this link. Basically, through Ninja, www. Index ring boot. This is Simulation interface by mmuko-os. So if you want the algorithm that does all of this, you go to here, mmuko-os. You go to mmuko-os instead of this. You go to index ring boot, color frequency. It's just one file. Just one file you need. There's just one file. It's only one file you need to do it. But once you I'm gonna end it here because it's gonna be too long. Thank you for watching this video.